Hello and welcome all my Ninjazilla warriors and newcomers to the channel. I am Roy at Ninjazilla80, and today we are going to be doing a little monkeying around because I will be reviewing the NECA King Kong Skull Island version. So without further ado, let's get started. And now, starting things off with the box, because you know we gotta talk about really cool boxes on this channel when we have them. First things first, we see front and center a really cool picture of the Skull Island version King Kong right there, looking really awesome and fearsome, like he's about ready to battle. And we have the movie title logo that this figure is from, King Kong, of course. And we do have the flap on the front of the box that we can open, and you would usually be able to take a look at the figure inside, but I have already taken them out. But anyway, we also have a really cool promotional figure right there with his closed fist hands in. Of course, looking really nice. And of course, turn the box to the side. We see a really cool picture of King Kong with his grunting face head right there. Looking cool. And we have the movie title logo again. We have Real Toys and NECA right there. And of course, turning to the other side, we have another promotional picture of the figure with his mouth open right there, of course. And we have King Kong and NECA Real Toys again right there, as you can see. And of course, the back of the box is where things get interesting. We have a really cool promotional picture of King Kong right there, like really big and front and center. As you can see, he's grabbing the skull crawler and he's about to punch out the skull crawler's legs with his closed fist hand. I don't really know if these were called skull crawlers in the original King Kong movie, because it's been so long since I've seen it. Because yeah, I got buku copies of the original Godzilla from 1954, but yet, yeah, I don't have a single copy of the original King Kong movie. But I do have a DVD copy of Peter Jackson's King Kong. But anyway, well, as of the recording of this video. But anyway, we have some more cool promotional images of the figure right there as well. We have King Kong looking like he's making a weird face because he stepped in something. We have him with his big tree branch club right there, about ready to smack the pterodactyl, it looks like. And of course, we have the pterodactyl and the skull crawler that you get inside as two little bonus friends, I guess. And of course, we do have the movie title logo yet again, King Kong. And the bottom of the box, nothing too interesting. We just have NECA, Real Toys, a serial number, and a barcode. Like I said, I don't know too many people who are too obsessed with barcodes. If you are, no offense, but you're weird, dude. But anyway, the top of the box, we have King Kong. The movie title logo yet again. We have ages 14 and up. Warning label, choking hazard. So don't mistake this for bananas or candy or Skittles or M&Ms or anything edible and try to eat it, because yeah, it's not going to go over so well. That's what NECA's trying to tell people. So yeah, I hope and pray we all know better. And of course, we have the NECA logo yet again, and that pretty much concludes it for the box. So now, on to the figure. And now, here we have the NECA King Kong Skull Island version figure right here before us in all of his going bananas, monkeying around glory. As you can see, this is a well-sculpted, well-detailed, highly articulated figure made by the super cool, awesome people at NECA, of course. Now, of course, I don't mean to spoil anything moving forward, but my thoughts on this figure are relatively positive, and I will be going over why my thoughts on this figure is relatively positive. But first things first, let me put my light on so we can get a better look at his color scheme. Of course, as you can see, his fur is sort of like a very like black colorization with some good brown dry brushing, which it brings him out very nicely. He looks really good, very movie accurate. Although the original King Kong was shot in black and white, but I think it would be cool to see a colorized version get released if that hasn't already been released, because I think it would because I always say the same thing about the original two Godzilla movies. But anyway, taking a closer look at him, if I bring him up, you can see he also has some battle scoring on him as well. That's from fighting all those skull crawlers, I guess. But anyway, we have some claw marks there, are fighting those dinosaurs on Skull Island, I guess. And he has some scarring on his face and on the side of his cheek right there. And he also have some scarring on his eyebrow, and yeah, we have some more scarring on the other side of his face and on the top of his head as well. So yeah, this King Kong has been in more than just a few fights. And of course, yeah, we have his big tree branch accessory, which I will be getting to later. But anyway, sculpting wise, NECA done a really good job. Just getting a whole 360 view of this figure, and then going the opposite way. NECA done good. But anyway, going over articulation with this figure. And I'm going to bring him up closer so we can get a closer look at that face. The head can look up a little bit, not a whole lot. We can look down, we can look right, we can look left, and of course we could do a full-on 360 cranium revolvus and the opposite way. And of course, if we do look at the head, the eyes are well painted and well sculpted. The nose is well sculpted as well. Look at those big, huge nostrils he has. Yeah, I hate to be around when he sneezes. But anyway, we do have jaw articulation as well. So I almost forgot to go over that. And bringing them up closer, we can see how his teeth is individually sculpted and how they are well realistically painted, looking really nice. We can see the inside of his mouth looking very realistic. Got that huge gorilla tongue in there, and we can see all the like veins and finer details at the top of his mouth as well. Well, kind of more like the roof of his mouth, so you could see all that up there as well. So yeah, the NECA figures are pretty realistic, so that's why they call them real toys, spelled R-E-E-L. But anyway, we also have a really good torso articulation, so we can bend forward and back and rock side to side and spin all the way around a full 360 and the opposite way. So we can do that. And also we have really good arm articulation as well, so we can bring his arms out in a T-pose like so, and then bring them back in. We can rotate all the way around a full 360. Same is true with the other side. We also have a really good bicep swivel in both arms, and of course we do have a double joint at the elbow, so we can bend those elbows all the way forward and out again. So all we need to do is give King Kong a set of dumbbells in each arm, and yeah, we could get a really good workout for him. So yeah, could work out those those biceps and triceps with good old King Kong here. But anyway, we also have a swivel in the hand, and we can rock them forward and back as well. Same is true with the other side, and we can rock them forward and back. And also, we do have his gripping hands in, because, King Kong's got to have those gripping hands, because how he likes picking up on those ladies, especially Miss Ann Darrow. Yeah, we all know about that. But anyway, moving right along to the lower body portion of the figure. Legs, knees, and the feet are well sculpted and painted. Getting a good look at that. And of course, we have really good leg articulation. The hips can do the full-on RVD split, so that is good. That's a definite plus. We also have a hip swivel, but I do advise being careful with this out of the box, because sometimes you do get stuck paint, and you really don't want to force anything and unintentionally break anything. We can kick forward about that much and back about that much. Same is true with the other leg, and back about that much. We do have a double joint at the knee, so we can bend those knees all the way back and forward like so. And we do also have a hinge in those ankles, so we can point those ankles forward and then back like so. And if we point them forward, we can also rotate them. I gotta be careful. All the way around, a full 360. Same is true with the other foot. So trying to keep that in focus. And yeah, because I'm trying to be careful not to overstress anything and break it, because I really do not want that to happen. And yeah, you can rock the knees, while you can twist the bottom of his shins forward and back a little bit, but they're kind of tight, so I don't advise doing that. But anyway, moving right along to his accessories. Of course, he does come with his big, gigantic tree branch stick, or log, or whatever you want to call it. Or it could be a whole tree, who knows. We have it, or I just got to call it a tree branch, just for simplicity. Of course, we do have some interchangeable hands, so take that out. So we do have his closed fist hands. So if I take the gripping hands out, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they do take a little muscle grease getting out of there. And of course, here is his closed fist hands. So putting those closed fists in. So yeah, here's King Kong with his closed fist hands, ready to duke it out with Donkey Kong for those bananas. So we got King Kong with his closed fist hands. Yeah, so taking out those closed fist hands. Woo! And yeah, as you can see, giving me kind of a hard time changing them out, because they grip inside the wrist sockets so firmly. But anyway, we do have the open palm hand, so looks like he's reaching out to grab something or somebody. I would assume I would assume that person he'd be reaching out to grab would be Miss Ann Darrow. But anyway, yeah, they are also well sculpted, and each finger is individually sculpted. And yeah, NECA done a really good job. Definitely got to give it to them. And I would have to say that this figure is well worth every penny that I paid for him. And as far as price range, he's not overly expensive, but he's not cheap either. So that's what I would say for pricing. I will give you the price as soon as I do the final score. But anyway, we also have his grunting face head. So let's take off his base head. So yeah, let's take this off. So we gotta decapitate him for our short moment, and then yeah, do a head transplant. But yeah, we got him. So that is his grunting face head right there. Looking really nice. And of course, I much rather him with his base head. So taking that off. So putting his basic head in. And of course, he comes with, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video when I was reviewing the box, he does come with two extra unfriendly friends. We get the skull crawler, which these skull crawlers in the original King Kong were much smaller. And of course, we do have this pterodactyl, which they say you never hear when a pterodactyl goes to the toilet because the P is silent. But anyway, we do have an articulated jaw there, and we can rotate the head all the way around a full 360. And also the pterodactyl is well painted, looking really nice. Makes me wonder why, even though I don't have them, why the NECA Godzilla King of the Monsters Rodan figure never had an articulated jaw, but this little mini pterodactyl figure that comes with King Kong does. I don't know, that's just baffling to me. And of course, we have the mini skull crawler that you get with them as well. The neck can articulate, and it can look up and down, so that's very impressive. And we do have articulation in the jaw, and you can see all those little mini sharp teeth inside the skull crawler's mouth. And yeah, unlike the legendary skull crawlers, this one kind of seems to be sporting a back fin, so that's pretty cool. I wonder if that's something that we can see in future Monsterverse designs for skull crawlers. That would be an interesting thing to do a take on. But anyway, we can also put the skull crawler in. Look at it! That was unintentional, but that's funny. And I guess all we got to do is put the stick in his hand, and yeah, and just give that skull crawler a good whack. But anyway, yeah, it's a really nice figure, and I really like him, and he's highly recommended. But anyway, if I have to give this figure a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability, I have to give him a drum roll, please. And based on those three facts, detail, articulation, and playability, like I said, my thoughts on this figure is relatively positive. And like I said, I apologize if I spoiled anything at the beginning of this video or earlier in the video. But if I have to give this figure a final score, I have to give him a definite, well worth it, well deserved, knocked out of the park, 10 out of 10. Why? Detail, I feel, is top notch. It is very movie accurate for the original King Kong. Really like it. And of course, before I forget, the abdomen and the belly on this figure is kind of made out of a softer, pliable, rubbery material. But anyway, getting back to my recommendations. Like I said, detail's good. Paint scheme is really good. Articulation is definitely top of the line, especially for a budget line figure. This just feels like the sheer quality of this figure and just the detail, sort of to me is more reminiscent to a figure that you would be paying hundreds of dollars for. But obviously, this one you are not. And to be honest, I think that this is a little bit better than the SH Monster Arts Legendary Kong figures that we've been getting as far as what I can tell you about articulation and detail with this one. And he holds together really well. You don't have to worry about this figure fall into pieces if you look at it too hard, so that is a definite plus. I would say my only nitpick with this figure is the fact that changing out the hands sometimes can be quite a bit of a hassle, because once you peg them in there, they're pegged in there really good and really firm, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, if you want to change them out on a regular, you're going to kind of have a hard time. So that would be the only downside I would say to this figure. But other than that, I don't see any other nitpicks. You can pick this one up from Big Bad Toy Store right now as of the recording of this video, but there's only like 12 left in stock last time I've checked. If you want him, he's about $33.99. So he's not the cheapest figure that you can get, but he's definitely not the most expensive either. I would say he's more of like around like a mid-range or like pricing. But it's still very budget friendly, if you ask me. So yeah, if you're a figure collector on a budget, I would say this one's a definite good fit. But anyway, guys, that pretty much concludes it for this review. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I do have more figure reviews and unboxings to come on the way. And as always, thank you guys all so much for watching. Your viewership is much appreciated. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And stay safe, take care, God bless, stay positive, stay powered up, and peace out.